This is the Louisiana Hometown Network, traveling the state to bring you the important issues and events.
The opening ceremony was incredible. It's amazing to be around all of the 51 candidates and see what they have to offer. I am so proud of each and every one of them, and I'm really glad they were able to share a little bit about themselves today.
The point of Miss America is to make sure not that we talk about who we are individually, but who we are collectively. It is the collective that makes Miss America strong. And that collective, of course, is made up of 51 individual young women who have come here to Mohegan Sun in Connecticut to show that they are ready for the job of Miss America. Because it is a job. They are interviewing all week for that job. They are no longer contestants, they are candidates. They do not have a reign, they have a job. They don't win prizes, they win scholarship. And through their year, their work is advancing their social impact initiative. I will tell you that it is one of the most beautiful examples of marrying glamour and substance. And it is going to be magnificent. I can't wait for you to meet these 51 young women. They can't wait to meet our judges, who will be coming into town soon.
A senior marketing major with a concentration in advertising design from Louisiana State University, Shreveport, I'm Miss Louisiana, Megan Cruz.
Good evening, everybody. A graduate of the University of Mississippi and a 2023 Doctor of Jurisprudence candidate, I'm Mary Margaret Heyer, Miss Mississippi. It's pretty unbelievable to be here at Miss America. When I was crowned Miss Mississippi 6 months ago, this felt like it was a lifetime away, that it would never get here. And it's here, and I've already competed in the first phase of competition, now the private interview, and there's so much more of the week to go. It's been a blast.
It is completely surreal. I cannot believe that the moment is here, and even living in this moment, I still feel like somebody needs to pinch me, but I'm begging them not to because I don't want to wake up from the dream.
I want to be Miss America because I believe that I can expand my social impact initiative work to a national level. I've already brought my social impact initiative of organ and tissue donation to 12 states, but I would love to bring it to all 51, and that's why I would love this opportunity.
Oh, I want to be Miss America because she's someone I believe in, and I believe in myself even beyond that. I know that I'm capable of the job and everything that I have to bring to the table. I want to be able to work with the LEAD program, which is Leadership Empowerment and Development. I know what I've been able to accomplish in my state, and I know without a doubt what I'd be able to accomplish on a national level as well.
A senior marketing major with a concentration in advertising design, I'm Miss Louisiana, Megan Cruz.
A graduate of the University of Mississippi and a 2023 Doctor of Jurisprudence candidate, I'm Mary Margaret Heyer, Miss Mississippi.
Megan Cruz, Miss Louisiana. Holly.
In your private interview, you talked about having a disagreement with a college chancellor. How do you, as a young woman, deal with an older man in power?
I think it's all about communication, regardless of whether he's a man or older. It's just understanding my power and recognizing my voice. In that instance that we referred to, I recognized that I was representing the students. And so I knew in that moment that it wasn't about me, but about the position that I was placed in, and that it was my responsibility to be that voice of reason and stand up for what I believed in.
Thank you. Megan Cruz, Miss Louisiana.
Today's women are diverse. In fact, some would even say we're the modern-day superwomen. Life for young women has never been as promising or as challenging. And that's where the Leadership Empowerment and Development Program, better known as LEAD, comes in. Unique originally to the Northwest Louisiana YWCA, the LEAD program focuses on dynamics such as goal setting, healthy relationships, personal and cyber safety, and cultural competency. Group leaders also discuss topics such as effective communication, self-respect, and positive self-esteem because we know that to be successful, leadership must begin from within. I was introduced to the LEAD program in 2015, and now with more than 350 hours invested, I'm honored to serve as a LEAD ambassador. Since my initial involvement, the program has more than tripled in Louisiana, but my mission is not yet complete. As Miss America, it is my goal to establish the LEAD program in the hundreds of YWCA facilities throughout the United States, encouraging title holders to volunteer as mentors while establishing LEAD as a nationwide platform. I believe that in doing so, it would enable the Miss America organization to transform young women's lives like never before. And to me, that means leading, empowering, and developing a program that builds a bridge for young women of all demographics to reap the benefits of the Miss America organization and begin their journey to success.
Your time is up. Mary Margaret Heyer, Miss Mississippi.
You've talked about You've talked about how Miss America is not about a photo op, but about being a keynote speaker. What traits does a good speaker need?
A good speaker needs to be somebody who has a message and has a clear way of conveying that message, which I am so glad that Miss America 2.0 has embraced the idea of us being speakers through our social impact pitches, through these onstage interviews and the 10-minute panel interviews that we have with you all and the final conversation, because ultimately Miss America does need to be someone who's capable of giving a keynote speech and expanding her horizons and expanding this organization so that we can reach greater heights and be bolder. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mary Margaret Heyer, Miss Mississippi.
Giving. It's the season for it. Giving gifts, receiving gifts, being grateful for all that we have, that's the best part of the holidays. The average consumer is estimated to spend $1,048 on gifts for their loved ones this holiday season, but 55% of Americans are missing out on giving the simplest, the most affordable, the least time-consuming, and the most life-saving gift of them all, the gift of life. As of 2019, only 45% of Americans are registered organ, eye, and tissue donors. As Miss America 2020, I have a plan to change that. Change begins in creating an understanding of the scope of the donor organ deficit crisis we are in. Currently, there are over 100,000 individuals waiting to receive an organ transplant, and sadly, every day, 18 of them die, still waiting. But change can be implemented through a call to action by informing the public of how simple yet meaningful the gift of life can be. America, you can become a registered donor right now in less than 1 minute by visiting organdonor.gov on your cell phone. One donor has the potential to save the lives of up to 8 in need of an organ and could heal up to 75 in need of tissues. Americans are generous, especially during the holidays, and we have the overwhelming potential to express this generosity in a life-saving way by giving the gift of life, the gift of time, the gift of memories, the gift of laughs, and the gift of love. Thank you.
The winner of tonight's $1,000 scholarship for Onstage Interview is Jade Glab, New Jersey. Well, I have to say, when I was 14 years old, I cried before every interview, and when my name got called, it came full circle. I cried when I was called, so that was that. One thing that people don't know about me is that when I first began competing in the Miss America's Outstanding Teen organization, I lost my first 7 competitions, and it took dedication and perseverance on my part to keep going and continue despite failing in the first place. I would just keep on going, keep pushing through, because ultimately, working through your difficulties is the way to succeed. Thank you. Well, my question was all about how I keep persevering in the instance of failure. And one thing that I got to talk about is how I kept working hard at my dreams, regardless of how many times I failed. And I got to talk about how I failed to win the hearts and minds of the judges on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th try. But on the 8th try, because of my hard work, dedication, and perseverance, I was able to succeed in this organization. And I firmly believe that the successes that I have in this organization will propel me towards future successes in my life.
The winner of tonight's $1,500 scholarship for overall winner of the Mew Group private interview is Mallory Rivard, Michigan.
I think my jaw hit the floor, to be completely honest. I felt really great walking out of my interview and knew that I had given it my all and spoke from my heart, but it was just great validation to know that the judges heard you and they understood your story and they believed in you too. So this is such an honor and I'm so, so grateful.
Tell us briefly, what did you say in your interview?
I talked a lot about what my plan is as Miss America and what I've done as Miss Michigan, specifically with my social impact initiative, Read to Succeed, and my work experience being a full-time first grade public school teacher, as well as being a Pure Barre instructor. So I work over 60 hours a week on top of my job responsibilities as Miss Michigan, and I think that's something really unique that I bring to the table as the next Miss America 2020.
The winner of tonight's $2,000 scholarship for talent is Victoria Hill, Georgia.
It was a feeling of just being completely overjoyed. I'm studying opera, and I performed an aria from The Daughter of the Regiment, and to receive this award and this enormous scholarship is just a dream come true and really helping me pursue my career as an opera singer.
And thank you, Miss Georgia.
Well, I've only been performing for about 2 years, but I've been studying classical music since about 16 years old.
And tell us a little bit about your family's reaction to this.
Oh, I saw them. They were so excited. 2 of my siblings are here. There are 5 of us, but 2 of them are here with my parents, and they all threw their hands in the air, and they've just been so supportive of me, and I can't thank them enough for that.
Thank you, Miss Louisiana.
Well, I sang I Will Always Love You, and I was so excited to be able to perform that on the Miss America stage. I'm just crossing my fingers and toes and arms and anything else that I can cross that I'll be able to perform it on final night for Kelly Rowland and Karamo Brown. That is the coolest thing in the entire world to me. So I'm really proud of what I was able to put on stage, and I hope that I'm able to continue to represent Louisiana to the best of my ability.
Thank you, Miss Mississippi.
It was amazing to finally sing on the Miss America stage. That's always my favorite part of the competition because I think I'm truly being my most authentic self when I am singing. That's what I love to do and how I love to express myself. And my performance last night in the aria that I selected was a bucket list aria for me, one that I never thought I'd be brave enough to sing. And so it was the best feeling to face my fear on the biggest stage of my life, and I'm very proud of myself for my performance.
The winner of tonight's $1,000 scholarship for onstage interview is Victoria Hill, Georgia.
We are not promised tomorrow. And my interactions with the girls that I work with at the North Georgia Angel House can impact them for a lifetime. And that's why it's so important as individuals that we realize we can make a huge difference by mentoring teenagers. And because my mentors have made such a difference in my life and enabled me to do that with others, I want to inspire people to do the same.
Thank you.
Oh goodness, well, I'm just so very honored, very humbled, honestly, because I was able to speak about my involvement and my love for teenagers in foster care, and it really means the world to me that I'm receiving this award tonight. But on top of that, the scholarships that are coming with this, which are funding my master's degree, which is really empowering me to become the opera singer that I want to become.
Tell us a little bit about your work with foster care children.
Yes, absolutely. 2 of my uncles were adopted out of foster care, and I work at a group home for girls called the North Georgia Angel House, and I love these young women. I've been working with them before I was involved in the Miss America organization, and they are amazing young women. I've started a mentorship program there where I've paired with female leaders in my community to mentor these girls one-on-one so that when they age out of the program, they have a connection and a solid person that they can rely on and will be there for them.
The winner of tonight's $1,500 scholarship for overall winner of the Alpha Group private interview is Siavali Kadam, Oregon.
My name was slightly mispronounced, so I wasn't really sure it was me at first. I was like, who is that? And then I realized, like, oh, that's you, Oregon, get up there. So I'm just so grateful. Interview is my favorite phase of competition, so to be awarded this, it's incredible.
What points did you make in your interview with the judges that got you this award?
I wish I could tell you. It kind of went so quickly that it feels like a blur to me, but one thing that I did get to share is the fact that my family immigrated from India when I was 2 years old, and just how that cultural duality played into who I am today. And I love talking about my family and my experiences as an immigrant, and I think in addition to representing Oregon, I also represent the immigrant community, and I'm proud to do so.
And the winner of tonight's $2,000 scholarship for talent is Camille Stryer, Virginia.
Let's congratulate tonight's scholarship winners. This concludes the Miss America 2020 preliminary competition.
I am so excited to be the preliminary talent winner. I never thought I could compete at Miss America because I did not have a performing talent. And so I developed this talent because I am a scientist, I'm a biochemist and a systems biologist, and these are the skills that I really have. And so to be able to communicate them with the world and the judges is just really fulfilling for me, and I'm really excited to be breaking boundaries for women in STEM and women in this organization. So exciting. I mean, I'm over the moon.
And what we're about to watch is the catalytic decomposition of hydrogen peroxide. But be careful, don't try this one at home. Now, in my flasks are concentrated hydrogen peroxide, food coloring, and dish soap. I'm about to pour in potassium iodide, my catalyst, which will start the breakdown. Now, this reaction is very simple. It only produces 3 things: water, oxygen, gas, and heat. The heat is formed from the breaking of the bonds within the hydrogen peroxide molecule, and the oxygen gas is trapped in the dish soap, which forms the foam so we can see how far the reaction has progressed. Now, the next time that you see a bottle of hydrogen peroxide, I hope you impress your friends with what you've learned, and keep an eye out, because science really is all around us.
I wanted to represent something. You know, other women in this organization are very talented dancers, they're talented singers, instrumentalists, and that's not something that comes naturally to me. That's not something that is a talent of mine, and my talents are with science. And so I'm a person that's very authentic to who I am, and I think that's really important, that we don't try to be like other people just because someone else does something. So I want to show young girls and young men across this country that they can do whatever their skills are, and that it's okay to be different and take a risk, because sometimes it pays off really well.
Today we've made history as part of the Miss America Foundation scholarship interviews, which for the first time in 100 years have been made open to the public. Normally all done behind closed doors. These young ladies would be interviewed by their judges, sort of a mystery as to the process. Well, now we open that all up to the public, and it was a great event. I think well received by all, and the contestants did great.
Instances where people who have terminal illnesses, who at the end of their life are...
Today we had interviewed in the categories of science, technology, engineering, and math, also women in business, social impact initiative, and ethics and justice.
Miss America organization has empowered me and made me realize that I can speak my mind, I can stay true to my beliefs.
Well, we had 8 judges today, set out in 2 panels. One of the panels was driven more by judges with a business background. The other group of judges, the second panel, were a science background. So obviously those that had the business background asked the question to the young ladies for the business scholarship, and those with the science background asked the questions for STEM. The backgrounds, I read the bios, but it was only a brief excerpt of the quality and the accomplishments of the judges we had here today. Indeed, an impressive group.
One thing that I really advocate for with my students is to make sure that all of your research is ethical.
It's always been impressive to me. I've been around the organization now for 21 years. I think the one thing that I've always admired was the fact that these young ladies are indeed smart. Today, when we heard them ask their own questions, in addition to the answers they gave to the judges' questions, we saw that intellect shine through. And there is no doubt that this is the future of our country. These women are smart. They're going to be out there and they're going to be real successful. So you better watch out.
Which is absolutely necessary. I would say 70% of our funding comes from private giving. However, I still have to go out there and make sure that I'm finding ways for us to be sustainable outside of private giving.
There's an unequal footing between scholarships which are available to men and scholarships which are available to women. What we're showcasing here is the intellectual capital that women can bring to the table to a big corporation. We need to empower those women through scholarship. We've done it for a long time. We need more help to go and expand our scholarship programs, not only to the young women that we serve through the Miss America competition, but to the young women that are out there inner city, in the military, in athletics, to go and get them the scholarships that would help propel them to be the future leaders in our corporations.
How can people get more information about this?
Go to our website, missamericafoundation.org. The Miss America Foundation is one of the leading providers of scholarships to women in the United States. We are here today at Mohegan Sun and having a breakfast where we are going to be featuring a number of the Miss Americas, the former Miss Americas, state title holders, all gathered here together to help raise money for the Miss America Foundation so that we can level the playing field between men and women and provide scholarships to deserving young women throughout the United States, women within our program and also outside of our program. So this is an exciting day here at Mohegan Sun. On behalf of the Board of Trustees and the Miss America Foundation, a sincere word of gratitude to each one of you today, because your ticket is being used to underwrite the valuable scholarships you've seen being awarded throughout this week. And as we as a foundation board pursue our mission to expand our scholarship programs to not only our young ladies within our competition system, but also to deserving young women outside of the competition world, with the goal of leveling the playing field. Guys have enough scholarships. We've got to get it to the ladies. And that's our goal, and we're going to do that this year, especially as we embark upon the 100th anniversary of the Miss America organization. We've got a great program in store for you this morning. We've got a good number of former Miss Americas as well as state title holders that I am going to have the privilege to introduce to you today. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss America 1948, BB Shop. Ladies and gentlemen, Jacqueline Mayer, Miss America 1963. Ladies and gentlemen, Kelly Cash, Miss America 1987, and Tatum Shepard, Miss Central Virginia. Ladies and gentlemen, Debbie Turner, Miss America 1990. Ladies and gentlemen, Heather French, Miss America 2000. Ladies and gentlemen, Mallory Hagan, Miss America 2013. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss America 2019, Nia Franklin. Ladies and gentlemen, Deb Merrill Stokel, Miss New Hampshire, 1970. Ladies and gentlemen, Candy Cohen Reed, Miss West Virginia, 1981. Ladies and gentlemen, Vicki Plaster-Kalpers, Miss Minnesota, 1983. We are also honored to have Tiffany as a member of the Miss America Foundation Board of Trustees. Ladies and gentlemen, Tiffany O'Donnell, Miss Iowa, 1988. Ladies and gentlemen, Beth Ann Jones, Miss Delaware, 1991. Ladies and gentlemen, Sarah Balducci, Miss Maine, 1996. Chantel is married to Mitch Krebs, and she also serves on the Board of Trustees of the Miss America Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, Chantel Krebs, Miss South Dakota, 1997. Ladies and gentlemen, Nicole Philbrick, Miss South Dakota, 2000. We have exciting news at the foundation. There's only so much work volunteers can do, so we've taken on a full-time executive director, and I'd like to take a moment to introduce everyone here to Maiken Metchling. Maiken, welcome.
Good morning, everybody. It's an exciting day and certainly an exciting time for the foundation. I'd like to thank everybody. This is one of the greatest opportunities of my career. I've spent over 40 years in the not-for-profit fundraising world, and this is probably the ultimate job for me. I'm a Cape May County girl, born and raised in Cape May, New Jersey, so I'm a South Jersey girl. I'm a Miss America girl all the way. Grew up in it, understand it, and absolutely appreciate it. And the exciting part for me is that I get to spend the latter part of my career being able to support women and women's empowerment through education. And I am so excited to be able to do that. So please, if you see me, stop me. Anything you have to say, anything you want to offer to us in terms of words of encouragement or opportunities to move our agenda, please stop me and do so. Have a great day. Thank you for coming.
There's a lot more scholarships. Statistics show that a lot more scholarships are available to men than there are to women. But yet, as you've seen throughout this competition week, we've got some really smart young ladies here. And it's these women that we want to empower through scholarship to be able to penetrate the glass ceiling and get those big jobs in corporate America, in schools, in military, in whatever their career pursuit, and help facilitate that. Because right now, there's a disparity. Many more scholarships available to men than there are women. We're going to change that.
The scholarships are critical. These are young, bright, energetic women of the future, and the opportunity for them to be able to have funding for their education is just spectacular. In a perfect world, all these bright women would be able to leave college debt-free.
I began competing in the Miss America organization as a teen. So I did the teen program for 4 years, and I did the Miss program collectively for 4 years as well before I won Miss America and that $50,000 scholarship. So over the course of my participation, I've won over $73,000 in scholarship assistance from Miss America. I've used it to do things like take dance classes. I also finished a degree at the Fashion Institute of Technology, and I used it to pay my rent while I was in school too. So there's a lot of different uses for the scholarship money here at the Miss America organization and with the foundation, and I'm very grateful for that. And post Miss America and post my degree at FIT, I worked in the news. I was a news anchor for a local NBC affiliate, and then I ran for Congress in Alabama.
Well, it took me half a decade to win the Miss Kentucky title to get to Miss America. So I had 5 wonderful years of gaining scholarship at both the preliminary and the state competition before I got to Miss America. And I graduated debt-free with an undergraduate in fashion design, a Bachelor of Science, and a Master's of Design. So it was really great coming from a low-income family to be able to graduate debt-free.
So I'm a doctor of veterinary medicine, and I was able to graduate from veterinary school debt-free because of my Miss America scholarship. Over the course of competing in the Miss America system, I won $44,000 in scholarship all told, and that allowed me to pay back the loans that I had already taken to get to that point in my education, as well as finish paying for the education that I had left. So, I never had to pay the loan debt that we are dealing with as a country right now because of this system, and I'm eternally grateful for that.
When I see the women today, I think only when we have the resources can we really do what it is that we need to do. It's impossible to really multitask unless we have the resources. This multitasking thing, it really can't be done unless you have the resources. You think, oh, you can do everything. That's so silly. You can't do everything unless you have resources, unless you have a plan, unless you have a way to do it. But when these women have resources, when they have a voice, they can do things that they never thought they can do. And the Miss America organization gives them the resources through the scholarship, give them the voice to get the message out, and that is what is happening here. And there are other ways to do that, but the Miss America organization gives women sometimes a voice that they might not have ever had. And that's what's exciting about seeing that here, because there are messages sometimes that might not have ever gotten out, and there are scholarship resources that are here that might not have ever gotten to that right woman because of their specific talent and their specific skill.
I became Miss America and received a $10,000 scholarship. It gave me a great deal of determination, will to succeed, and because of that, and because of the scholarship, a couple years later I had a stroke that left me paralyzed and without speech. So because of the Miss America pageant, because of what I had done during that year and the determination and the willing to actually overcome, it helped me during my stroke years that left me paralyzed and without speech. So that was, it's a blessing that I survived.
It's important for girls' education, and this is something we have to do. When I won, I got $5,000, and all I wanted to do was to go to college. And this is what it was encouraging people at that point to do, young ladies, to go to school and to have an education. Now, look at the degrees that are available for them all. It's just amazing in the fields that they're going into. And I think it's a wonderful, wonderful program, and it's just great.
When I talk to business owners and organizations, the top 2 issues, if not the number 1 issue they face, it's the number 2 issue they face, and that's a capable workforce. And as we interviewed each and every one of those scholarship finalists, it was clear that any one of them could run a Fortune 500 company eventually. When you look at workforce development, this is the crew that you want on your team. These women are not only accomplished in their personal lives, but in their academic and some of them even in their professional lives, have achieved multiple degrees and certifications, have very clear goals, and I would put them in front of any stakeholders in any corporation.
The candidates are participating in a really interesting and pivotal time. Miss America is going through a transformation and looking for her new place in society. And so it takes quite a bit of courage for the young ladies who are competing now to compete with the heart and the gusto that they have. It's important for them to be able to reap the benefits of this program. Every interview that I ever had to, every job I ever had to interview for, I was able to out-interview everybody else because of the skills I learned in this program. I've worked in television for 2 decades, and I was able to take the criticisms and the ultra-competitive nature of broadcast news industry because of the skills I learned in this program. So these women, whether they become Miss America or not, are gaining skills and attributes that will serve them for the rest of their lives.
Well said. Very good. Thank you so much.
Well, you can see it on the news every single day. They talk about student debt and the skyrocketing tuition prices. And so when you can offer an organization and a platform for young women to be able to gain a higher education and to possibly graduate debt-free, it's an incredible opportunity for these young ladies. And I always encourage them, compete every single year of your eligibility, because every step of the way you're gaining scholarship dollars. You know, some choose to sit out a year or not do their entire duration for their age range. And I said, you know what? Compete every single year of your eligibility, because it only, chinks up the change for your scholarship, and the more times you compete, the more money you can gain.
School is so expensive now, and with the scholarship, it just helps them pay for the schooling, but so many of them are teachers and educators and judges and lawyers and veterinarians, and it's amazing when I hear what these women have done, even the state winners. I'm so impressed with what they have done because of that scholarship.
The women who are here at Miss America 2020 are phenomenal. I had the chance to sit into the Miss America Foundation scholarship interviews, which for the first time ever, we opened up to the public. And we want to say thank you to Dakota State University, of course, for making that possible. But those scholarship interviews were really a look into what these women are capable of and how they think and their career paths. And I felt that they were so impressive, to the point that I wondered would I have made it through it during my time as Miss America. So I'm very excited to see which one of those women becomes Miss America 2020.
A couple days ago, we had a scholarship interview day here during competition week, and what readily showed through was so obvious was how smart these young ladies are. They're determined, they're driven, they're accomplished. I looked at a number of their resumes, and it's amazing what they've accomplished at such a young age in their lives. Now, what we want to do is now empower these young ladies even further. Sky's the limit, and we want to make available scholarships to them, and that's our purpose here today.
Businesses should support the foundation for lots of reasons, but the primary reason is these are their future leaders, these are their future management, these are their future CEOs, and the faster they can invest in that future, the better.
It's been fantastic. Great turnout. We've had some donations that came in just as people walked in the building with some checks that were just a real great surprise. And this is going to allow us to go and advance our mission of providing scholarships to young women.
Hi, good, how are you? Thank you so much. Next, are you good? Hi. Thank you.
Camille Schreier, Miss America 2020. Well, thank you all for being here. I am so excited and really shocked and thrilled. I'm now Miss America 2020. My name is Camille Schreier, and I am from Virginia. I grew up outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and moved to Virginia in 2015 to attend Virginia Tech, which is my alma mater. I have 2 degrees from there in biochemistry and systems biology, and now I'm a graduate student at Virginia Commonwealth University pursuing a doctor of pharmacy. And this scholarship will go toward all of those bills that are going to come at me in the remaining 3 years I have of my doctoral program. And what I want to take a minute to talk to you all about is why I'm standing here, because it's because of the changes to Miss America 2.0. This is something that I never thought that I could compete in the Miss America organization. I always admired it. When Mallory Hagan was crowned in 2013, I was in Las Vegas and I watched with my mom and I just admired. And I kind of figured that I would never stand on that stage because I was a woman that did not want to get in a swimsuit on stage, and I didn't have a performing talent, which is really ironic now. And it took me that long to figure out that I did have talents, and when the organization changed to eliminate that swimsuit competition, it gave me an opportunity to come forward as a person who is a little bit different. I'm really out of the box, and that's really authentic to who I am, and I think that one of the messages that I really want to spread this year, it's not just about science. Do I love science? Of course I do. But it's more about being the woman who God made you to be the person who you are. Don't try to be like anybody else. If I had ever danced or sang on the Miss America stage, I would have never been standing here. I would have never won my state title as Miss Virginia. And so it's those changes that brought me here and what will bring more women like me forward. Because what this organization needs right now is candidates and sponsorships. We need to pay bills. And as a scientist, I've been able to bring sponsorships to my own state of Virginia through chemical companies and large organizations, Fortune 500 companies that want to work with me because I'm different and I'm a scientist. And so that's something I'm hoping to bring to this organization at a national level. And so that's really what I'm excited to do, be able to spread my platform, my social impact initiative of Mind Your Meds, talking about drug safety and abuse prevention, getting naloxone in every single person's pocket, being able to understand that that's not just for drug addicts. It's really important. And talking about medication safety, it's something that we overlook, but every person in this room has probably taken a medication at some point or knows someone that has. And those are really important issues that we need to be able to face, and something that I'm excited to do as Miss America. And now I'm excited to be able to have completed this fabulous week, thanks to the Mohegan Sun. I've actually been here since December 8th, so it's been about 11 days. I have not been outside in 11 days, so I'm very excited to see the sunshine. My vitamin D levels are probably dangerously low. Excited to get some fresh air too, but I am excited to have been here at the Mohegan Sun. They have treated us very well. It's been a great experience for all of us, the other candidates. Thank you so much to Passion Roses for my incredible bouquet of roses. That was really exciting, especially to NBC, who has worked with us since the beginning of this process. I remember learning that we were going to be on NBC before I even competed for my state competition, learning the date and the location. And their production crew has been fabulous. I really enjoyed the way that the production went, except for the fact that I kept being the second to last one there, and they were like waiting, and there's me and one other person. It was like being a first runner-up almost like 4 times. That was a little scary. I had a little bit of a heart attack, so that was fine, but it worked out. Thank you also to Sherry Hill, who will be providing me wardrobe this year, and I'm really excited for this year. This is a really exceptional opportunity. I'm ready to redefine what this organization means and really bring this into the future, into 2020, and be able to show, just like I said on stage, that Miss America can be a scientist, and then a scientist can be Miss America. So thank you all very much. Yes.
How do you make Miss America more relevant today?
I think by doing exactly what I did, by doing a talent that was really outside of the box. I'm showing that I can be a woman who is poised and articulate, but I also love science, and I can bring in people that maybe had never seen themselves in the organization, kind of like me. And so whether or not your talent is, you're an artist, we had a couple really unique talents this year. We had someone that spun pottery, and then someone that did a speed painting, and I was so excited to see that, breaking out of the box, breaking out of the mold, and being authentic to yourself. And I think that we need to bring that down to all the children that Miss America talks to, that I'm not a beauty queen. I am really someone who has this position. I'm a brand ambassador for this organization, and I'm more than just someone with a crown on my head. Hi there.
Congratulations.
Thank
Debbie
you.
Turner Bell, Miss America 1990, but also doing double duty with BBC World Service. I want to ask you, how will you reassure the volunteers and the supporters of this organization that the heritage and the history of Miss America will not be lost in the changes of Miss America 2.0?
I think that we're already seeing that. I'm wearing a crown. I still have the crown of Miss America. I'm a woman who loves an evening gown. We wore them on stage, and I think that we have a lot of the traditional aspects of Miss America and the things that always made it great. But just like maybe in 1921, where this was only a swimsuit competition on the boardwalk in Atlantic City, we're moving with culture, and we're going to remain relevant, but we need to change to stay relevant in this changing culture of our time right now. And I think that we need to adapt. And so that's something that I loved. I'm a traditional person. I mean, I love tradition, but I think that we need to change them to make things more relevant.
How do you perceive the Miss America pageant, or do you perceive the Miss America pageant any differently now that you've won the title?
I think I do because of Miss America 2.0. It's not the Miss America that I grew up watching, and I'm excited about that. And I'm excited to be an ambassador for the change of this organization and show that a woman like me who might have never seen herself in this organization, I'm a woman that has recovered from an eating disorder, and so putting myself on stage in a swimsuit wouldn't have been a healthy choice for me. And I think that women should have the opportunity to if they so choose, but particularly that wasn't something that I wanted to choose for myself. And so I think that we're changing this and bringing this into the future, into 2020, and being able to give girls like me an opportunity to earn a lot of scholarship dollars for my graduate education.
Could you just tell us a little bit about how you developed your talent and how you put it all together?
Yes, so the funny story is I competed in one local competition. I decided to do a local for Miss Virginia the first week of April on a complete whim and sprung it on my parents, and they were like, okay, well, what are you going to do for a talent? Because they know I don't sing or dance or play an instrument or do any of those kind of traditional performing talents. And so I always loved watching science demonstrations in my classrooms, but I'm particularly inspired by a woman named Kate the chemist, who is a professional science entertainer and a graduate she's actually a PhD from University of Texas at Austin, and she's a professor there. And she does this on talk shows, she does it for kids, and I loved that. And I'm like, I'm gonna do a small version of this. And so I bought my glassware and my chemicals on Amazon. You can buy a lot of things on Amazon. And I ordered them to my house, and I tested it in my friend's backyard. I brought it to a larger scale at Miss Virginia, and it really was a crowd pleaser. I wasn't sure how it was gonna come across because I know I have to be very engaging when I do it, and that's part of the thing that I do in schools. I bring this to schools on a smaller scale constantly to get kids really excited about science. So that's kind of the way that it's developed, but it's been something that I've been really passionate about, and I'm excited to be able to share something really different and take a risk, because I think it's important, especially in my generation, that people are afraid to take risks, and sometimes risks can pay off.
First, I want to say congratulations.
Yes.
Something that I love that you said on stage tonight is that you think that Miss America should have a seat at the table in terms of really, enacting change in our society. But in a time when people don't really understand the Miss America competition and maybe even Miss America 2.0, do you think that with this job you really can make change?
I absolutely think so, because I'm already doing it as Miss Virginia. I've had Fortune 500 companies reach out to me via media, and social media is a powerful tool. I had companies invite me to come to their corporate headquarters to talk about women in STEM and give me a seat at their tables very physically. And so I'm doing that already as a state title holder, and that's something I'll continue as Miss America.
Your answer about Miss America not being able to be a mother, many women in STEM are moms. I myself am a single mom. You talked about Miss America being a job. So how do you reach out to all those women who are single mothers, who are working mothers, when you've kind of just said, like, you can't be Miss America and be a mom?
I think that Miss America is a very unique job, and quite honestly, I'm worried about what I'm going to do with my 2 cats at home right now when I take this job and I'm on the road constantly, and I think that it just logistically would not be something that would be possible. I don't think that you could do both well, and I think that it's important. I took a year off from my education to be Miss Virginia because I wouldn't have been able to spend enough time being Miss Virginia or being in school, and I wouldn't have done either of those well, and I think that this is a very special job where you need to dedicate all of your time, all of your energy. And I think that that's why particularly I think that I stand by my answer, but I can understand the way that we might be able to include other people. And of course I respect women that are, working moms, doing other things, but this is a very different job, I think.
How do you view the social impact of you being Miss America?
I think that I'm hoping I'm breaking the internet at this point. I haven't seen my phone or the news, but I'm the second woman ever to perform a science demonstration on the Miss America stage. First one to ever win a preliminary talent competition with that at the Miss America competition, and the first Miss America to ever do a talent like that, do a science demonstration. I think that I'm changing what it means, and I think that that's kind of what I'm doing right now.
Steve Elk, Global Toy News. How are you? Virginia Tech graduate, by the way.
Oh, go
Congratulations.
Hokies.
Electrical engineer as well. So this is not a social impact question. Is there something you did or played with as a child that led you to a career or STEM and things like that?
I was always the girl outside with bugs and snakes, so it was kind of like a nature thing. I jokingly said that I wanted to be a naturologist when I was probably 4, because that was my best description of I loved biology. I grew up cooking in the kitchen with my parents, I was like a 6-year-old making yeasted doughs and making meringue, and that was really fun for me, and what I didn't realize was that was science. I had really inspirational science teachers who encouraged me throughout my time. My mom's also a nurse, so I grew up around kind of medical field, but I don't have like a specific moment or something, but I was always surrounded with things that allowed me to get in depth with STEM, and so that's something that stuck with me.
You talked about overcoming an eating disorder on stage tonight and overcoming other mental health disorders as well. What would you say to maybe young women or men out there who watched you tonight and watched you win? What message would you have for them?
I think that when you look at someone like a Miss America, it's very easy to perceive that person as someone who has never had struggles in their life, and that's so untrue. I think all of us have secret battles that we've faced, and I think it's important as someone who's gone through those battles and come out on the other side stronger for me to share my story with people so that they can understand that these are things that we go through. They're normal, and I think that when I was going through those particular disorders, I still struggle with obsessive compulsive disorder, and that's something that went untreated for a long time, but is something that has made me be more cognizant of people's invisible illnesses. I also have a genetic disorder, so I am constantly fighting battles inside of myself, and that's something that you don't see from the outside, but we all have those things inside of us that we struggle with. And so to be a voice for people who are struggling, I think that that's a really important job that I had this year.
History was made yesterday with our third president to be impeached. You guys were lacking phones and kind of out of the world, like you just mentioned.
Yes.
What was the buzz backstage for all of you strong women?
We were kind of trying to keep up to date. I'm a person that I usually listen to podcasts in the morning to make sure that I'm staying up to date on news. So we've had our phones throughout the week. We just lost them today before the broadcast. And so I've been staying up to date with the podcast that I typically listen to. The buzz was just kind of talking about this. We were all concerned that we were going to get an onstage question about the impeachment. So we were all very prepared for that. But that didn't actually end up happening. And so we're all just we're trying to stay in touch as much as we can. And that's the benefit of having our phones and technology. You know, it's something that we've been able to see coming. What I'm always interested in is that people woke up today thinking that President Trump was no longer the president because they don't necessarily understand how our government works and that it still has to go through the Senate.
Hi, my name is Kira O'Brien Murray. I actually work for the American Heart Association doing social media for them at this event. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
Second, I love the red. Go Red for Women, the American Heart Association. I just can't help but mention that.
Awesome.
Both of our organizations, both the American Heart Association and the Miss America organization, work to empower women. Cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer of women, and so I'd like to know a little bit more about how you think you might be able to empower women in the next year to taking care of their heart health.
As someone who is pursuing a degree in a doctor of pharmacy, this is something that's near and dear to my heart. I'm someone, I think the perception of people in pharmacy and medicine is that as a pharmacist, I'm supposed to just give you medicine. But in reality, a lot of what we do is preventing people from having to need to take medicine. And so being able to talk to people about living a healthy lifestyle, being able to really have a well-rounded, balanced life, I think is so important. And that's something that I can advocate for both as a healthcare professional and as Miss America.
You might not have seen this, but there's a video going around from Miss DC saying that she was pressured not to talk about her social platform because it dealt with children and sexual assault. Do you feel like you felt pressure from the Miss America organization to conform to their idea of what a Miss America ought to be?
Absolutely not. I was very much open to being able to say and do what I wanted. They give us a lot of flexibility, and I think that one of the things regarding what you're speaking of is being able to be flexible and adaptable with what the production is looking for and what the organization is looking for. And so I absolutely did not feel silenced. No one told me what to say. No one told me what to do. No one told me what to wear. I did everything exactly how I would like.
Hi, Anetta Constantinides from Business Insider. I just kind of want to piggyback on that because we were talking about how Miss America can be a place to talk about silent disorders and eating disorders. And so do you agree that sexual assault and survivors have a place on that stage as well? That's such a huge issue that affects women all over America.
Absolutely. I think I shared my own story of overcoming a challenge like having an eating disorder. And so I do think that women should absolutely be able to say what they're looking for and what's important to them.
You mentioned that you're going but winning the Miss America title is going to be a full-time job for you.
Mm-hmm.
Does this mean that you're going to take a break from pursuing your doctoral degree?
So I actually already have taken the year off from my doctoral degree to be Miss Virginia. My role as Miss Virginia was also full-time. And so I dedicated this year to being Miss Virginia. And now I jokingly told my university, who all were probably watching tonight, I'm like, well, we're going to find out if I'm class of 2023 or 2024 tonight, because I knew I was going to have to take another year off. And I had pre-warned them, but with the caveat of, we have a 1 in 51 chance that I'm not coming back next year. But they have been overwhelmingly supportive and so excited, especially because my social impact initiative is related to my career. To be able to take that on a national scale is really exciting for them.
Hello. And for fun?
What do I do for fun? Well, when I have time, I have 2 cats at home that are my little fur babies. I'm a crazy cat lady, I'll tell you that. I really enjoy cooking and baking. That's one of the things that I said I loved as a child and something I still do. I'm a meal prepper, which might be hard this year, but we'll figure it out. I enjoy floral design. I actually took a floral arranging class at Virginia Tech. That was like the only class I got to choose to take, because all of my other ones were like hardcore science classes. Most fun. I mean, it's a really enjoyable thing for me to be able to do. So I do, that's an artistic expression too. So it's funny because we talk about like, I'm a person that did a science talent, but in reality, I do enjoy art and other kinds of expression. And so when I do have free time, I do things like that. But I don't have a lot of it right now, and I presume I might have less this year. I am just me. That's all I need right now.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Instant nerves. I'm not one to get nervous, and so I was a little taken aback by my reaction, but this is Miss America, and it's something that I have worked so hard for so many years, and to feel the reality hit that the time has come is so surreal, and so instant nerves, but in the best way.
Tell us, what have you learned throughout this entire experience?
Oh my goodness, just to take everything in stride. Everything happens for a reason, and I was placed here for a purpose, and so regardless of whatever happens this week, just know that God placed me here, and great things are meant to happen out of it.
What memory will you remember always from your time at Miss America?
Oh gosh, I don't know if I have one specific memory. Of course, all of these great girls that I've been able to meet and spend a whole experience with. Something like this, whenever you're in such a unique experience, you become instant friends because you are all sharing the same experience, once in a lifetime opportunity. I will also remember Seasons Buffet because we've eaten there so many times and the food's so great. And then also just the fact that all my family and friends have poured in all the way from Louisiana the week before Christmas, which just means the world.
My goodness, I was emotional actually. All week it kind of hadn't really felt real to me. I felt like I was just hanging out with my friends, like maybe I was back at Miss Mississippi just getting ready for another show. But the moment the music turned on and I turned that corner and was on the stage, I teared up and was very emotional. It finally felt real, it sunk in, and I was living my dream.
Final question, what would you say this whole experience has taught you?
It has taught me the value of surrounding yourself with women who are like-minded as you and have high goals the way that you do, and women who value the same things that you do. It has been such a remarkable and inspiring experience to be surrounded by these 50 women all week. It has inspired me to push even what I thought my boundaries were and to achieve more, and I'm so thankful to know all of them.
This has been the Louisiana Hometown Network. If you would like more information, please contact us.